Hi guys, I'm back. This is another video, this time on something else I just acquired. This is a Fluke 27 FM multimeter. I wanted to kind of show it. Came with a case as well, but basically what you get is the case. So it's military surplus. I got it off eBay, and you get the leads, and it came with the 6,000 volt high voltage probe, and all in the case. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit and kind of talk about some things I've dispel certain stuff about this meter in particular. If you go on eBay and look these up, Fluke 27 /FM, you're going to see the gray models, just like this one. You're also going to see more of the traditional color, where it's a yellow body with the face here being gray. And I think they might have, or I think I've seen one on there that was all entirely yellow. Now I don't know about the entirely yellow one for sure, that one that was on there, but the yellow ones with the gray face, they're newer. But they don't have, they say on the back, if you flip them over, they'll say that, you know, something along in here about being a Fluke 27 FM. But on the front, it will not show FM on it. So, it seems like all the gray ones I've seen, it's got the FM on the front. If it's got the FM on the front, it's a true RMS meter. If it's not on the front, no matter what color, it's not a true RMS meter. Now it comes from Fluke themselves. So, but I think all the gray ones are. But the one thing I do know, the way you can tell, is it's got to have this FM, which is for military, on the front of the meter. And then you know it's true RMS. Now, the other thing about true RMS meters, except for one that I can locate on Fluke's site, except for one model, which is a logging meter, which I think it's the 289. There was a older one that had a different number, I think a 189 or something, and they stopped making it. The 289 took its place. But anyway, they've got a bigger LCD screen with several different lines on it, and anyway, but they log readings. Except for those, all of Fluke's line that are true RMS meters, all their Fluke line is AC coupled. The 289 is not, or it can be, but you can also connect it with DC or flip to DC, I think by pushing a button or something. But anyway, then it'll read both AC and DC together and go through the RMS chip. But all the rest of their meters is only AC coupled. In other words, meaning only when it's in the AC here is it coupled through. If I flip it over here, it is not. And that, you know, that includes their workhorse, their bread and butter making meter, which is the 87. It's just like this. It is AC coupled. And a lot of other companies who make true RMS meters are AC coupled only. Now, what's the big deal about that? Well, let's assume that you're measuring something that does have some DC voltage to it, and you want to get a full accurate read. Now the reason why you might want an AC coupled one, let's say you're checking a power supply and you want to see the RMS value of the voltage on the ripple to see if it's high enough level that it could cause problems. Well, in a case like that, you wouldn't want to be measuring the DC. You'd want to only measure the RMS, the AC of the ripple, and that's it, the RMS value of it. But there are times you might want both readings. If you're only AC coupled, the meter itself is not going to do it alone. You're going to have to do some math. So I brought out the whiteboard, and let's see if I can get this in camera. Oh, by the way, I'm using the other camera, my old one. I mean not my old video camera, but the very camera I started out with, which was a digital, standard digital camera. Okay. Now, you have your meter. Let's see if I can get that in the screen. And let's say you're checking something that you want both voltages. You want the DC and the AC measurement, but you want the RMS of the AC. Well, what you do is go ahead and flip her into AC and take a reading. And we'll just, once you get that reading, yeah, if my markers ain't dried out, let's see if I can find a better marker. Oh yeah, we record it, so you write it down. I'll just write AC. It can be 10 volts, 100 volts, could be whatever. Then you flip the meter over to DC. You make a measurement of it, and whatever it comes out, you write it down. So we'll just write DC. Then what you do is square both of them. All that means is you just take the DC times itself and the AC times itself. So if this was like 10 volts, you square it, it'd be 100 volts. 10 times 10 is 100. Add those two together once you squared them, and then take the square root. And that gives you the true reading. That's all you got to do. Or pay $600 and get the meter that will do it for you. I find it simpler just to do the math myself, cheaper in the long run. That's all you got to do. One case in point on this, you might be doing, like if you got a series strong radio or TV, that all the tubes combined don't add up to the line voltage, and they put a resistor in as a dropper. If the voltages are just right, you can put a diode in and replace that resistor with just a simple diode. If you wanted to check and make sure your voltages are still correct for the tubes, you might want to measure them and see if they're dropping, the proper voltage drop is across all the tubes combined. Well, if you use a meter like this, you're sitting there thinking, I got to use true RMS, which you do. It's going to give you a false reading unless you do this. Take that AC reading first, RMS, record it. Take the DC reading, record it, square both of them, add them together, and that'll give you the true reading of what it should be. That's all you got to do. Now, get rid of this. So, let's talk about the meter a little bit. Now, it's not their fanciest meter. It's just basically a straight out meter. If I first turn it on, it shows up everything in here. The nice thing about it, all AC is on one side, all DC is on the other side. Diode and continuities down here, ohms is over here. It's got two offs, so you don't have to go all the way around. or anything. Meter's working fine. I've already checked it out, and it seems to be dead accurate. So it seems to be working just fine. I checked resistance readings with 1% metal film resistors that I've got. I went through several of them, and it all read just fine, exactly what it should. So well, first let's go what I paid for it. I paid $69.95 for it, plus $9.95, 2-day priority shipping. That's the only thing he offered, so, which is fine. And I got it in 2 days. Meter's in pretty decent shape. It is a military meter. You can see that it's got markings on it, and a tag and another marking, and of course some more back here. The thing I like about these is the tilting bail is large, holds it really solid. These are can withstand, you know, easily a 10-foot drop. They say it's 3 meters tested. They are solid built. They're large and heavy, but that's fine. I like a heavy meter. They're waterproof, which I really don't care about, but that's fine too. It doesn't move around the bench much. I can flip it on, off, don't go nowhere, just stays exactly where I want it. The thing I like about your better quality meters or name brand meters is the protection. Now, why did I get this? Well, my old digital meter I broke. This has protection against what I did to my old meter. What I was doing was I was burning midnight oil late at night, like a lot of times I do, which I suggest you don't do. You get tired, you make mistakes. Anyway, I had been doing resistance checks, and I got looking at the schematic or a little distracted or something from those, forgot to turn the meter off, and decided to do a voltage check. And of course I plugged it in real quick and fired it up while the meter was still hooked to it in resistance. It wasn't on but a second when I realized what I'd just done. Shut it off, shut it off real quick, and when I got it unhooked and turned it back on, it was all it'd give me is rubbish. If you'd set it over in continuity, even without the leads hooked to it, you set it over in continuity, it'd go between being a short to an open, short to open, back and forth, and the beeper would keep beeping. Flip the voltage, sometimes it might try telling you that it's measuring 10 megohms in a voltage reading, and it's not even reading anything. It's not even hooked up to anything. So it wiped it out, the main chip. Now, when I bought that meter, and I looked from my book to it, and I can't find it. I've got it filed away somewhere, but I'm pretty darn sure it stated that it was protected for that. Well, I know these are. I've seen these put through tests where people have done on YouTube videos where they actually would leave it in ohms and put a pretty substantial amount of voltage across the leads and didn't even hurt them. These are well protected. So, from mistakes like that. So that's one reason why I got it. I've been thinking about getting one since the time that I realized that they even had these on eBay. You know, Bob from B. Anderson TV, he got one, and that kind of turned me on to them. And then I seen a review done on them, a little bit newer one than this, and it was with the yellow and gray, on Dave over an EEB blog site. And so anyway, when that one went bad on me, then I started looking, and I decided to land it on this one and picked it up. they still got them. They got a lot of them, and they range from around this price. There's one on there right now for $69.95. Shipping's a little higher, about $18.60, and on up. A lot of them for around $100, $90 to $100. Various things. Some of them come with manuals, some don't. Another point I want to point out: whether you buy whatever kind of Fluke meter you end up with, if you find a Fluke meter and you buy a Fluke meter, or you get one like this off there or something else that's Fluke, and it didn't come with a manual, and you go looking for a manual, don't look for it on eBay. I've seen manuals on there even for these, owner's manual, operator manual, for $50. And it's ridiculous, because all of Fluke test equipment, you can download free of charge the manuals. Service manuals, operator manuals, everything. So don't buy a manual for a Fluke off of eBay, because you can go right to their site and get it free of charge. Not telling anybody they need to get one, but if you are in the market, they are a darn good meter, and you'll be seeing a lot of this meter as time goes on in my videos. Me checking things, doing voltage checks, and doing other stuff. I just wanted to show it was something else I got. I like the idea of getting the high voltage probe. This is 6,000 volts, but it works great for doing like electrostatic sets and some of those type of voltage readings. I've got a 40,000 volt. It's not a Fluke, but I got one 40,000 and a 30, and one is a 30,000. 30,000 came with my Heathkit VTVM when I bought it, and then I got a 40,000 one that I got with off of eBay, I think it was, a long time ago, that has banana jacks will fit right in here. So that gives me a good range of 30 and 40,000, and also 6,000. The nice thing about the smaller one, if you're measuring smaller voltages, the bigger ones, they're a lot longer and a little more cumbersome to mess with. The case I wasn't really as concerned about getting, but a lot of them have a case with them. So it's just something else I have to store. And let's see, I can't think of anything else. If you want to see a teardown on one of these, well, I could do a teardown on this. If you want to see that, just leave it in the comments. If just one person wants it, I'll go ahead and make another video here in a week or so and do a teardown. But the yellow and gray, a little bit newer model of this, it's like from 2004. This is from like 1990. Dave over EEV Vlog, he did a teardown of it. So a lot of the circuitry is very much identical. The biggest difference is two differences. Number one, it's not true RMS, so it don't have that chip in it. And two, sometime around 2004 or 3, they changed the chip that's used for the display. Maybe they couldn't get the older chip that they were using. I don't know. But anyway, they changed that. It does exactly the same thing. Displays the same information. It's just a different chip. That's only two differences, other than the fact it's yellow and gray. But I didn't plan on doing that today on this one, but I can do that. But if you are in the market for a meter, I would suggest this. If nothing else, before you ever buy a meter, don't buy some real cheap, like $50 or $20 meter. Not only you're dealing with the potential, may not be always dead accurate or very accurate. but they are quite dangerous. They don't have no protection whatsoever in them. So they're just not a safe meter, those cheap meters. You know, and if you go up in level and price to when you're getting somewhere that does have some protection, you know, around $100, well, I paid $69 for this, plus $10 shipping. So I paid, you know, I paid $80. Yes, and there's some others on there in that general range. They're always on eBay. And my old Radio Shack meter that was supposed to have been protected was $120 when I bought it new. So if you are in the market, it is best, I really suggest a reasonably named brand, or at least something that you can put some trust in, and in the name and everything. Not only for protection, if it's got good protection, the meter will be protected, but also you are protected. And I really suggest you at least take a strong look at these. So, just, if nothing else, for, you know, it as just another option. So I really don't have much else to say on this. I'll just see what your comments bring me and stuff. I want to thank you for comments on the last video. I will be getting to that TV as far as working on it probably the beginning of next month, sometime in there. It'll probably be kind of a strung out, you know, several part series on it. I kind of take some time going through it and kind of go over the circuits as I go through them and stuff, not just something that you're seeing me replace caps and resistors and stuff. In fact, we may do some playing around, maybe possibly some troubleshooting. I'm not sure yet. I don't have a test CRT, so I have to deal with what I've got. So anyway, but it'll be coming up here pretty soon. I do have a little project I want to do, and it is a troubleshooting video on an old radio, and that has not really been touched other than the electrolytics. So the rest of the caps and resistors and everything is original in it. So we will be going through it. That way I can, you know, kind of show you reading schematics and also different types of troubleshooting, from taking voltage measurements to signal injection to signal tracing and things of this nature. So I know I had some interest in that. So that's going to be probably I'll be doing that before, oops, sorry about hitting the thing, before I start on the TV. So again, thanks for your comments. Got some new subscribers. Thank you for joining in. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you like kind of this stuff, stick around. You know, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll know when any new videos come out. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And thanks again for watching.